What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com. If you're a blind film critic and something very bad is going to happen. This is season 1, episode 3. I'm still doing this, seeing if it clocks any interest. So still has excellent audio description on Netflix. We're still chugging along here. So at the beginning of this episode, we see that Rachel has decided to head off and buy some I don't know, I'm sorry presents for the family, and she gets a cake that says, "I'm sorry, I thought you were trying to kill me," and like little trinkets and stuff as apology. And she gets like Jude a car, and he's like, "I don't play with toys." Like it's just, and she's like, "Well, it's the gesture of a gift." And he's like, "But I don't." Anyway, so um, I didn't really work out for him in terms of receiving a gift, but whatever. So uh, she's gonna she's gonna end up trying to apologize, basically, like the whole, and try to make everything okay. We end up getting this episode, and they call in the audio description, they call it like the intruder. There's some like point of view that we get where it sounds like it's like, first of all, who breathes like that? But something like that is like following through, like sneaking around and following Rachel through the house. And it's just like, I don't know where you came from. I don't know what's happening here anymore. But sure, whatever. So she has, a nice conversation with Nikki. We do get to explore some of the side characters a little bit more, like the brother with his feelings. He gets to reveal sort of his feelings to Nikki in a bathtub conversation with his wife, who seems very nonplussed by life. Mel, I think is her name. And he he thinks that Nikki picks these types of women because he thinks that he can fix them. I thought this scene was interesting because if you think that it's like a cult type thing where they're trying to, where all of these characters are unsettling, it's this weird moment that only exists for us because it's only these two characters that are having a very normal conversation in the bathroom. And it's also, he's part of the family. She's not part of that bloodline. And she seems to be fine slash normal still, so it's not like whenever he got married that something very bad was going to happen. So which she actually does use the line, something very bad, I feel like something very bad is going to happen in this episode. Oh, um yeah, she just kind of ends up talking to everybody. She catches she's on her this is her apology tour, so she's trying to apologize to everybody, which is met with sort of mixed results depending on who it is she's apologizing to. She sees Jude outside of a door that he can't get into because it's locked. I don't understand how she immediately then gets into the door, but whatever. Um, so she tells she's like, well, maybe sometimes doors are locked for a reason and we shouldn't go inside of them. So after she shoos Jude away, she opens the door and goes in, and it's the taxidermy studio. The dad for the patriarch of the family does taxidermies in the middle of doing one. So there's, if you're one of those people who goes to, does the dog die? Uh, mm, technically, I think this one was already dead because I don't remember them killing a dog in the course of the show, but this would be an unsettling moment for people because he's in the middle of taxidermying a dog. and also talking to Nikki. So she comes in the room and she's kind of thrown off by that. But, um, they have this conversation about how Nikki just announced that they were getting married. And meanwhile, unbeknownst to Nikki, his dad had been working on this sort of celebration of life type style thing, this farewell for for the mother for Jennifer Jason Leigh's character and Victoria. So, but of course, Victoria wanted to see the wedding when that actually happened. So now it's like this hodgepodge of things. And Rachel's like, well, maybe we should. Can I call how do I call a family meeting? Can I call a family meeting? And this is when we learn that Rachel is a behavioral psychology major. She's getting her doctorate in behavioral psychology. And of course, Nikki's brother's like, where'd you go to school? And she's like, U of I. And he's like, I went to Northwestern. And like, I have a feeling they're completely different degrees. I think he's in maybe like an actual doctor, and she's going in for like behavioral psychology. Anyway, so just like a completely different thing. So while not a psychologist or therapist officially, she has enough adjacent training to be able to hold a meeting about people and their feelings. And she does that, like, how do you feel? Thank you for sharing, and like those kind of things, and tries to go around. And it doesn't really work very well, but she's trying to make amends, trying to get the family, but there's still this moving around through the house, which at the end she's going to get a piece of the cake that she bought, and she gets the edge of the cake that says "kill me," and which I thought was like prophetic, for chosen specifically, obviously, as her piece of cake to eat. And as she's doing that, she ends up getting grabbed by someone in a mask who we don't see, and she's drug off. So we'll see where that ends up in the next episode. But that's that episode in a nutshell. Because now we have someone else. And the thing is, I don't think they've established anybody well enough in this episode to make me think it's anybody in the family. I mean, I guess it could be, but then what's up with sneaking around your own house? Because if it was anybody in the family, they wouldn't need to sneak around like that, or be like, wear a mask and all. It's like going overboard. Anyway, so we'll find out who this intruder is, I'm sure, shortly. So I was less interested in this episode. I thought the tension wasn't being built as much. It was actually being released, if anything, because they were trying to present the family as a little bit more normal. Like, Rachel didn't give them quite the fair shake the first time out of the gate. And then there was this intruder thing, which I honestly, the way it was breathing sounded like a dog panting. But I thought it was the dog, because there was a dog in this house. But then they showed the dog. It was like the dog was like following Jude around. So it wasn't the dog. It ended up being a person. And I'm like, why is this man breathing like that, though? Like, why is this man... He's got asthma. Anyway, whether they over exaggerate things because they're like, well, this will scare people. I'm like, that he's having a panic attack? Like, I thought it was silly, but all right, if that's what you want to read. So, I'm a little less interested in coming out of episode 3 than I was out of the first 2 episodes, which I thought were sort of like masterfully crafted in terms of ratcheting up tension and pushing you into versions of uncomfortability and instability. I didn't get that here. So instead I got an ending where I was like, oh no, okay, all right, well, we'll see what they do with this. So, That's it. I'll be back with my recap of episode 4. Until then, see you guys on the other side.